Hello, everyone. So let's see here. Let's see if I can see everyone. Okay. Okay. Yes. Can you see and hear me, Joy?
There we go.
There we go.
Okay.
Okay. Wonderful. Okay. And I'm going to see if there's a way I can get us both on here at the same time. Someone mentioned that last week. I
Okay. Well,
think.
I can see. Well, let me tell you something. Every time I come on Zoom, it is always drama.
Okay.
I just had a Zoom last night. It was drama. It took
Oh, really?
15 minutes for me to get in on it. I don't
Oh,
know
my
what's
goodness.
going on with it.
And it's a really great platform. I really like it. I want to say welcome to everybody here. Like, I apologize for the delays, and there was a mix-up with the information that went out, the email.
Right.
So I apologize for any confusion, any inconvenience. But we're here now. It looks like both of us are here now.
Okay.
So I guess we will kind of jump right in. It's like I'm gonna ask you guys if you have questions to go ahead and put them in the chat box. There is a Q&A box, but if you
Hi,
can
Jaman.
if you can put them in the chat box, that'll help help us kind of streamline everything. So we're gonna be here for about an hour, and then we're gonna do a talk after the talk on Joie. And tell me how to pronounce your name. Make sure I'm doing it correctly.
It's excuse me. It's Joie.
Joie. Did I say it right? Joie.
It's Joie.
Okay.
And everybody says Joey. It's okay if you say Joey.
Okay. I'm gonna try to get it right here, Joie.
Okay.
And, and so we're going to go over to her Instagram page and have a little talk after the talk. So you guys are
Yeah.
able to join us. That
After party.
yes, exactly. Absolutely. And I see, hey, from Atlanta. Hey, Auntie.
Hey
Okay.
guys. Yes. Hi everyone. I
Thank you,
can't see
guys.
anyone. I can't see anyone. So I'm looking. I don't think it's. Let's see
I'm not
here.
sure if you can see the chat or not. I think
Okay.
you
Let's
may
see
be
here.
able to, but I'm not sure. But
Oh, okay. I see. I see the. Let's see. View the whole list. Okay, I can see people now. Well, I can see
okay.
their names.
Okay,
I can see
awesome.
their names that
Yeah,
show
so those
up.
are the
Yeah.
participants, and then there's a chat function that's next to it. And as a panelist, you should be able to see that, I think.
Okay.
I'm
It's
not sure though.
okay. Am
So
I supposed to see them or I shouldn't see them?
I'm not sure. You won't see their
Okay.
faces, but you could see
Okay.
the chat,
Okay.
I
Yes.
think.
Yes. I see the chat. Okay. I
Okay.
can read. Hey, somebody saying, hey, hey, everybody. Okay.
Okay.
Got it. Okay.
So Joie and I are going to have a conversation, and we're just going to kind of chat along the way. And so we won't answer questions till toward the end. And I want to introduce myself and get us all started and tell you about an extra special, exciting thing that's going on tonight, courtesy of Miss Joy here. So anyway, my name is Mickey Wright, and I want to welcome you guys to Beauty Superstars Talk. I'm a salon business coach and longtime founder of Beauty Superstars and our online academy for training for beauty pros to better run their business and kind of get more clients, make more money. And right now, some of us are needing that. It's like with everything that's going on. So we're gonna take a break from the outside world and come into the inside world. And with Beauty Superstars Talk, it's still relatively new. I got inspired after, I guess, the aftermath of George Floyd's murder. There was definitely a lot of unrest in terms of race in this country, and it spilled over into the beauty industry. And I was able to be part of a few calls, Zoom calls, where we were able to meet. I knew some and didn't know others, other Black beauty professionals who are really just doing amazing things, even though we've experienced, various things
Mhm.
within the industry in terms of bias or discrimination. And, everybody's story is different, but I just left it like, oh my God, like everybody has to know about all these people that are here. And I know so many people in the industry who are doing great and amazing things. And I just want to open this platform to be able to share, not only share their stories, but allow them a safe space to share their own stories. So no one else has to define it for you. And with the specialties that each person brings, it's like we're just having some great conversations. So this is moving on into hair color month. It's like we're still moving through hair color month. And so I'm really super honored to bring to you my guest tonight, Joie, if I can say it correctly, Joie Wallace.
Joey is fine. Don't
Joey is
worry.
fine, okay. I'm messing it up. I'm sorry. But she, if you don't know her, is a fabulous balayage artist. She's a colorist. She does primarily textured hair, which, as we know, is pretty dark typically, and she creates some amazing blondes. It's like I'm so like awed by her, the tones and everything that she's able to get. So she's going to tell us a little bit about that, and maybe if you are a hairstylist out there and maybe thinking about how do I go from where I am now to being a colorist. And what are the benefits and all that kind of good stuff. So she'll share that with us, as well as her story. It's like I've got lots of questions for her, and
I'm ready to answer them.
Yeah, well, it's your story, so so whatever you tell us, that'll be what it is. No trick questions or anything. And I'm going to read her bio, and then I want to tell you a little bit, or maybe you want to tell them a little bit about the special.
No, go ahead. Read my bio. I'm interested.
Oh, I'm definitely going to read the bio. So, and I'll kind of condense it a little bit. But
okay, great.
With the gift of beauty is one thing, but actually fulfilling what you consider your calling is a true phenomenal gift. Joie Wallace.
Joey, just say Joey. Don't hurt yourself.
Is a premier stylist in every aspect of hair design. She has been servicing clients in the Hampton Roads area for over 23 years. She has also educated a multitude of stylists in state and abroad. Through representation of numerous companies in the beauty industry, through years of obtaining great skill and workmanship, she is propelled to excellence in her career field. A majority of her success is attributed to continual education, innovation, and creativity. She's proven herself as being extremely effective by keeping abreast on all the latest techniques, not only in color, but in cutting edge style and design. She is the creative mastermind behind a slew of editorial and beauty works featured in various television and magazine publications. A great deal of her work has been shot and can be seen in most national and international magazines. Along with several covers, she is a 5-time Behind the Chair nominee. Is that correct?
That's right.
Okay, is updated from here. And
oh, great. Yeah, I might need to update that.
Yeah. Yeah, you keep achieving great things, the next great thing. So her work's been featured in American Salon, Modern Salon, and Allure magazine. I think I saw Glamour, and you're just all over the place. We can't keep up with you.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to update it.
Yeah. But she single-handedly built a successful business and clientele that spans the spectrum from celebrities to the everyday career woman. And as the CEO of Sessions by Joie, she teaches professional hairstylists on hair color. She knows that hard work and dedication is the platform for success. And so with that, I want to say welcome. It's like we're excited that you're here.
Hi, everyone. I'm excited to be with you, Mickey. Yes. Mickey, you're one of my favorite artists for years, and I am just elated to be here.
Yes. It's so great, I guess, to have been around for so long.
Yeah.
The hair.
Yeah, we've been in the industry a little while. Yeah. I've been doing hair in Hampton Roads for 23 years, but I'm actually 33 years in the industry.
Oh wow. Yep. Yeah, we're right somewhere in the same ball game. Yeah. So now I mainly, coach and teach, some of the business aspects, but I used to teach, for any of you guys who may not know, I used to teach, the hair design part. It's like fabulous images. So it was a systematic approach to hair design, and lots of cutting and styling and some color as well. So I am very excited to have you here, but I want to share before we jump into our
Mm-hmm.
conversation, your special offer. I think it's so generous.
Yes, please do.
Come here and going to allow one of you guys who's on here tonight with us to win a special gift, like a super duper duper special gift. And it is one of her online balayage classes that you can win here for free. I think that's like super amazing. So I hope everybody's like, what? Who? That's great. Okay, I'm winning. For all of our competitive people, it's like, I am getting this. But
That's right.
the only thing you have to do is be here, and you do have to be present to win it. And you have to be here when we, you have to take some notes. That's what I'll say, is like, take good notes and listen, because we're going to ask the question from the evening, and the first person to answer it will be the winner of this online training, which is phenomenal. So thank you so much for that. I think that's super exciting. And I see a few folks that are like, yay. And so, so let me just tell us a little bit about you. You said you've been in it 33 years. How did you get started with in the beauty industry?
Well, I initially got started in the beauty industry because I went to school for fashion design and marketing, merchandising, and it didn't really work out too well. So when I partied a little bit in college, and I came home and needed to find something to do. So I thought beauty school would be something easy, because people kept saying, you know, you always put your hands in someone's hair. And I was just like, They said you should be a hairstylist. And so I decided to enroll, and I did. And I became hooked on it. I just thought it was a great way to, I felt at that time in beauty school, I said, oh, this will be a good way to make money and have fun.
Right.
And exactly that's what it has become, because it's a passion for me. So that was the initial start. It wasn't like I grew up wanting to do it like some of my colleagues. It just fell into my lap. And I guess that's why I always say it's an anointing from God. Right. Because hair for me is an art. And when anything is going on in my life, I channel that art and create. So that's definitely the reason that I am in this industry. I feel chosen to be in it, but it just kind of fell on me. So I think that I am fortunate enough to be doing what God wants me to do. So I'm very, very grateful for that.
And that's a blessing. Yeah, you mentioned art, like you channel the art through it. So tell me, what does that mean? And, you know, how do you get inspired?
You know, when I say art, I think that anybody that has a creative side to them is an artist. And when you yourself, I'm sure you can vouch for this, when you are taking a head that starts off one way and it's a canvas, and then you begin to start from the beginning, whether you're doing a color, like myself, I do 95% of my clients are color clients, or whether I'm doing a cut, whether I'm doing a relaxer, extensions, any of those things, you start at, you have a canvas and you begin to work on that canvas to create. And so as you go on, you're inspired by something that you've already, either a client has brought in or something in your mind, or you've added to what that client has brought you to create, you know, the art. And you know, from the start to the finish, once you look at it. And for myself, I am what you call one of these stylists that brands themselves as a transformation artist. And so to look from the beginning to the end is, you know, a work of art. It's just like any artist, Leonardo da Vinci, Monet, Picasso, you know, they all started off one way and ended up another way. So I think that being a hairstylist is definitely being an artist. And I always refer to it when I'm speaking with other hairstylists as I love your art. I love your art. So
yeah.
Grabbing inspiration can be from anything. It can be for me just sitting here looking and noticing that you have a fringe bang and you have your hair's longer, and then I could sit there and say to myself, oh, you know, I probably would like to just put a few waves in this side and add some nice highlights over here and paint some balayage in between there, and, you know, voila, you know.
Right.
So inspiration comes to me in so many different ways. I can't necessarily say that I'm the artist that looks at the ocean or looks at the trees and gather it, but it definitely has to be on an individual and what I feel could enhance their already great looks, you know, bring them into another place. So that would definitely would be something that I would say is just, you know, individual, looking at an individual and coming up with a path to giving them a different look is where I would, you know, my visionary goes. So it's you know, when they come to me, if it's a client, sometimes clients, you know, sit in the chair, and as a stylist, you know, we're definitely part of a system that we listen to clients, and sometimes we nurture them in different ways, whether we are therapists or whether we are friends and sisters and brothers and colleagues, and, you know, we're always cheering them on. If you are in this industry, you have to love it, because it's a people industry, you know, it's a service industry. So you just don't get in it for the money or you won't be successful in it.
Right.
You have to love it and want to do it, because it's definitely can be challenging at times, but it's very rewarding in the end.
Yeah, yeah. I loved, you know, your sharing about your creativity and how it's just, you know, kind of inspired by the person, inspired by, you know, whatever it might be in your, you know, spirit, I guess. Have you found any changes in your creativity, whether it's more or less or what have you, with, you know, we're in the middle of a pandemic, and for many of us, we were shut down for, you know, some of us weeks, some of us months. And I heard so many different things from different people, you know. Is that something that affected you, you know, from the outside, or were you able to kind of maintain?
Well, you know, I can take you quickly through a bit of a story. For me, as a veteran hairstylist in this industry for that many years, maybe 8 years ago, I found myself in a place that the clients that I had, which were majority of business women, began to fall off because they were older. You know, I'd been in this industry for a while, and I didn't feel old in it. You know, as a mature artist and a veteran artist, I felt very young in it. And I still feel young in it. Very competitive with it in a good way. And so for me, joining social media brought me to an area that created a platform for me to showcase my work all over the world, and also gain momentum. I was able to create through others that I saw their work, and also renew a clientele that had fell off. I found myself in a place that I was doing very little work, and I needed to build up. But, you know, when you are young and you're doing hair and you're hot, and everybody wants to go to you because you're young and popping. But, you know, when you're mature, you're old, I don't care how good you look. You know, they still want to go to the young and popping. Even if the young and popping not doing the young and popping styles, they still want to go there. So social media became a place where I could create and didn't have to do any show off, you know. I didn't have to say that I lived in a big home, or drove a certain kind of car, or wore, you know, designer bags. I could just create and have a portfolio right there for people to see, and then they could come to me. So a lot of them didn't even know that I was older. And so what that entailed was I found a new place that I could, one, build a new clientele,
Mm-hmm.
I could bring in more revenue. I could communicate with different people, with companies, and then I could be what I call just continue to be a part of an industry, a relevant. And I found that friends of mine that had been in the same place I was in weren't really so big on coming to this place, social media.
Right.
And it took them a little while, so I got a head start on them. What I didn't realize is, you know, you can always, something always, what's that old saying? Everything that glitters ain't gold.
Oh,
So, you know, with
I think that should
coming
be the
on
theme
social
for
media,
Instagram.
yeah, we're coming on Instagram, it had its downfalls too, because you get caught up in different things like numbers and likes and
Right.
are you good enough, and people aren't looking at you, or are they looking at you? So you have to stay focused on what you're doing, or you're going to fall off. You know, you're going to start to feel intimidated or inferior, and you have to understand why you're there. And when I got, you know, this platform and I decided to do it, you know, I got on this platform to build revenue for myself and to also showcase my art without having to feel like I was on a downslide, but not a downslide because I wasn't staying abreast or educated, but a downslide because I just didn't have the clients. They weren't coming to me. And so with that also being said, here I am. So moving forward to what you initially asked me about, how did COVID affect me? I do not pretty much thought that I had, I thought I was in an area that I had kind of gotten to a place where I was going to be pretty cool about everything. You know, last year was a very challenging year for me. I lost my youngest brother and I came home to a flooded house. So I spent almost 7 months getting, you know, my condo repaired from a flood and dealing with so many other issues. And I kept being faithful and patient because I felt that God was trying to show me patience. And I was obedient. And fortunately, everything got done. And, you know, I started healing from the death of my brother. And you know, New Year came. 2020, and that was the year that I was just had everything mapped out. I finished paying off a few credit cards, and I was going to get a new car. I've been driving this. Oh, it's a 1994 BMW. I bought it new, and it's 26 years old,
Wow.
and I still drive it.
That's
I paid a lot for that car, so I'm gonna ride it down. But I had a plan. I had a plan that, you know, what I was going to do a class. I was revamping my, taking branding, new branding, doing everything. I was going to do this really big class that I normally do every year that I didn't do last year. And I had everything, you know, working on it. And then all of a sudden, COVID came. And here I am. I found myself out of a job. And no, I wasn't prepared like I should have been. I wasn't prepared like I should have been because I'm a single woman and I work and I'm paying a mortgage and, you know, I'm hustling. There's no one else doing it. And at the end of the day, I wasn't prepared as what I should have been. And I don't know if it's necessarily because I neglected to be prepared. It was just life, you know? And so at the end of the day, at the end of the day, when COVID hit, and I remember the day that I came home and I was just like, oh my God, like, you know, what am I going to do? How am I going to pay my mortgage? You know, like what's going to really happen now? And so I decided to just get on, started reading, started finding out what avenues I need to take, what I need to have. And I utilized that time preparing for what was to come when I did come back. And it was scary for the first 2 months, not bringing in any income. But what I did was I had a class, an online class, thank God, that I had created to help with suffice my income. That's why I created that class. It didn't take off like I wanted to, but it was substantial. It was a good class. It just, people weren't really buying it. It was an amazing class. And I spent enormous hours with it and had help, you know, from friends that helped me put it together, and it was well put together and everything. But it wasn't taking off. But when COVID hit, people had time to get educated and had time to relax. And so I decided to reduce it half price. And what happened was, when I reduced it half price and put it out there, it went from, like, maybe I had 22 students. The year and a half before that, I had maybe like 40-something students in a matter of 4 months, 3 months, 2 months, something like that, like maybe almost 38 students. So it became a blessing to me, because it was a residual income that helped me through that until other income started coming in. And so COVID, like it is right now, it's still scary. You know, it's still trying to understand what's going on, but I'm gonna trust in God's hand about how to deal. I'm gonna, you know, I'm wearing a mask and I'm being careful in the salon, and I'm working steadily. I've always worked with an assistant. I'm working by myself. My body got rest. You know, so it was a good thing. It was so many good things actually came out of it, even though it's a challenging situation. So for me, you know, getting back in the salon and having to wear a mask and doing these things is challenging. But at the end of the day, I'm still here. I'm working and I'm back making money. So, you know, with the bad comes the good. So it's the opposite. So I guess, you know, I'm doing it day by day with it, and just trying to encourage everyone else to do the same thing.
Right. Yeah. Well, first of all, I'm really sorry to hear about your brother. And
thank you.
Yeah. I can't imagine that, but send our prayers with you.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, and then coming home to a flood, it's like so you already had
that was the thing. The patience was really for this year.
Right.
I thought the patience, I missed that. I missed telling that, right? Sorry, guys. The patience was for this year. That's what God was preparing me for, being patient this year, because we needed that patience.
Definitely.
You know, but, you know, I got to admit, the best thing about COVID was my body got a rest.
Yes. Yeah.
You know, it was a rest. Like, I found myself getting up and feeling good, because I didn't have to just work, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, turn Rihanna down, right?
Right.
work. So, but I think, there's definitely some blessings in, I think it's almost like a global slowdown, take a deep breath and see what's really important. And we get to redesign as we go back. And so I congratulate you on, putting your class back out there and, really, just taking the time to be faithful and, just kind of keep moving ahead, like you say, one day at a time. So I think that's it. So, I mean, that's all we can do. And I don't think anybody was really prepared for COVID. So
no, I don't think so.
Financially or otherwise, but even the big companies we're seeing, it's like, who prepares for a pandemic, even
nobody.
If they've been a little prepared for something, but tell us, like, how you transitioned into being a colorist. What was that journey like?
Wow. Well, I did platform artistry for companies. I was artistic director and education director for several companies for years. Okay. And got an opportunity to travel all over Europe and everywhere else. And, and really enjoyed it. I wasn't completely happy, and made some changes in my life and took some time off and continued to work. And that's when I came up with Sessions by Joy created that, and started to continue to perfect my color, you know, and I started getting more and more clients that wanted color. And so I actually was one of the first, I think, African American or Black stylists to do a balayage on textured hair.
Mm-hmm.
It's, you know, it's very popular now. When I was in a meeting last night, I talked to 4 girls. There were 4 girls in a meeting, and all of them was like, yeah, because I'm a balayage artist and I do balayage. And I was just like so tickled because no African American or Black women or Black men were doing balayage. Like I have work from 6 or 7 years ago that shows on Instagram, comes up where I was doing balayage paint. And I had an artist, Rachel Red, reach out to me, and she was like, oh, wow, you've been doing this for a while. She said, you like me? I said, yeah. And, you know, we kind of chuckled together because she's an amazing artist, too. I've met so many amazing artists. And, you know, our culture is full of so much talent.
Very much.
And so for me, I just channeled what I saw from white artists. Like the same thing with color. You know, we're not taught to do. We have African American Black colorists now that you can learn. You can learn how to color hair now. But when I started coloring, there were no Black artists that was teaching how to color textured hair. You can find a lot of them now. I mean, it's not a lot, but you can find them. So what I had to do was I had to learn their technique, and I had to reformulate it to our textured hair.
Right.
And I had to create different formulas that would work for the average white person. I had to be reformulated for my African American clients, my texture clients, and I have a multicultural clientele. The majority of it is Black women, but I do all hair, so it doesn't matter if you come in and you're Caucasian, you can get your hair done. If you come in and you are Asian, you can get your hair done. If you're Latina, you can get your hair done. It doesn't matter. I'm an artist, and you know, for me, hair is what it is. It's fabric. You know, and everybody is able to achieve learning how to do this if they are with the right person. I always say I'm not a social media educator. You know, I am a licensed instructor in the state of Virginia. I am an educator. When I teach, I don't teach my students how I do hair, how I do color. I teach them how to do the color that I do. So it's a really big difference in this society that we have now. Popularity plays a really big part in who stands out. But, you know, true artistry has always gone unnoticed. You know, if you look through the sands of time and you look at some of the great artists that have ever produced work, they didn't get noticed until after they were long and gone. Right. And so, you know, if you are an artist yourself, you're going to see through that. You know, popularity is just what it is. It's popularity. It doesn't last. You want to be like a portrait. Wow. You know, every time you see it, it sits the same way and looks that good. Right. You know, it still looks good. That's what you want to be. You don't want to be a fad or trend. Right. You know, you want to be a style. And so for me, you know, hair is something that if you are going to be good at it, you have to get educated in it. You have to invest, and you can't have an attitude because someone else seems to have an attitude about who they are. And I'll break that down to you. you have some artists that are so popular till they have this I can't be touched attitude, that I'm this or I'm that. And at the end of the day, I've learned really, really great skills from people that acted like they didn't like me.
Wow.
I don't know if that makes any sense. You know, when I first moved to Virginia, I worked with a girl. She had an amazing clientele, and she used to do raps, and she had all the pretty girls, and I had just got there, and she would always give me these girls that would come in, and they'd have really, really breakage in their hair and look bad, and she'd send them right over to me. And I admired her so much because she'd always come in looking nice and do hair, and she was popular. I didn't have a lot of clients. And I remember having a conversation with my mother, and I said, you know, this girl, she does really good work. I love her work. I said, but sometimes she's so mean. And my mother said, well, you like her work and she does good work? She said, yes. She says, learn from her. And I said, well, how am I going to learn from her when she don't even like me? She said, it doesn't matter if she likes you. Watch her. And I didn't understand exactly what she meant, but she was my mother, and she was the nurturer of my life. And everybody, you know, maybe 99.9% of what she said was always right.
Okay. That's a funny thing about mothers, right?
I did what she said. I did what she said. And I took what she threw away, and I created masterpieces from what she would throw away. Like, she didn't want to be bothered with the girls she didn't feel were pretty or didn't have beautiful hair. And so I created those girls to have beautiful hair, even though they didn't. And so that entailed me to change the dynamics, and it brought in a respect. And before it was all over with, you know, she was in my face.
Right.
Yeah.
But
she
you're
was
going
admiring
deep.
my work.
Right. You're going deep there. And I want to stay with that just for a minute, like what your mom was telling you, because I've been online lately in some of the groups, you know, just, you know, with some of the different questions that come up and chats that come up. And it seems like so much of it is based in, you know, this person hurt my feelings, you know, or was this client rude? You know, and you're writing showing all the text in the back and forth and all that kind of stuff. It's like, it's like we don't get that we've got to take ourselves out of our feelings sometimes to run a business and grow as people. You know, it's like we're not 5 years old or 10 years old or even in middle school. You know what I mean? We have to start to have some of the adult conversations, you know, with whether it's a boss or a manager or a client or, you know, all of these things. It's like, oh, but she might leave. Yeah, she might, but maybe it's not a good fit to begin with, you know, and by having an honest conversation, not a yelling at or a talking down to, you know, it's like, and we can learn from people that don't necessarily like us, and maybe we don't even like them, but it's like, do they have something, you know, like your mom was saying, to offer? Observe it, learn, you know, grow, and like you say, create your own masterpiece from that.
From where you are, I mean, I understand a lot of the younger artists, and they, you know, I talk to them and I encourage them. I encourage everybody. You know, that's a part of who I am. It's sincere all of the time. Some may not understand it, or some may look at it from one perspective. But you know, I don't take well to people telling me what I should do. You know, during COVID, and right now the companies are trying to amend what has been done due to the death of a lot of our brothers and sisters. And, you know, right now they want to amend because they've ignored us, and they you know, they want to come in and try and make things better. And you have some artists that just, you know, they don't want to have anything to do with it. You know, they just like feel like, oh no, you can't do anything for me right now. And, you know, I've worked very hard in this industry to have a place somewhere. And, you know, at the end of the day, I believe in second and third chances. And if you want to prove me and you want to show me, then show me.
Right.
Go ahead. You say you want to change what you're doing, then I'm gonna give you the chance to. And I don't stop anyone else from what they want to do, but I had a lot of people reach out to me and they'd be like, well, why don't you just create, we should just create our own seat at the table. Stop trying to get a seat at the table with these people. Stop trying to do this. But listen, these are people that have no goal in taking their career to another levels. They become social media popular. And for that, they're fine where they are. And that's it. I don't say they should do this and I don't say to do that. And guess what? I don't want them telling me what to do. Mm-hmm. Because I walk by my own beat. Mm-hmm. I do what I want to do. And when I do it, it's never any malice or intention to hurt anyone. It's always in good faith. Let me say this. I did a focal group for a company, and it had several artists there. And I've been using this company products for years, and I was a part of it. And the company was very nice, sent me products, and also wanted to give a gift card. And for me, it was not a good feeling. Something was off with the gift card part of it. But I didn't say nothing. I said, oh, that's a nice gesture. I was like, oh, okay, this is what you do when you want to, make up or whatever. Okay, fine. But in the back of my mind, it was just something about me telling you what I've dealt with and what I've gone through, and you offering me something. And most people would take that and not say nothing. But I live in a real world, honey. And ain't nothing free. Mm-hmm. Nothing. And so the meeting went very well. Wonderful, very nice people. I got an email today, and the email said, we appreciate you and blah, 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 blah. Thank you so much. We hope that, make sure that, we want to keep this private, and I am keeping it private with respect. But they were like, as we told you, you will be receiving a gift card for this amount, and we really appreciate it. And it'll be to you in a certain time. And then it hit me. I was like, no. I emailed back and I said, thank you so much, for the products. I appreciate it. I'm going to make sure I tag you. And I said, and thank you for the gesture of good faith that you wanted to send me the gift card. I said, but it's something about that doesn't really register well with me right now, because I don't need the gift card. What I did came from my heart. It was passion. You put me in a position to express myself and tell you how I felt and what could be done. And somehow I don't feel that I need to be compensated for that. And I don't know if that is your intentions or not. It may not be, but it just does not feel right for me. So thank you. But why don't you take that gift card and give it to someone that really could use it right now, since we are going through these difficult times. Mm-hmm. Now, when things like that laid on my heart, I don't have no other choice but to follow them, because see, that's when you're in a position and you say, my first mind told me. When you say that to yourself, and we've all said it, you said it too, Mickey, right? My first mind, and you might go to the opposite. And when you're young, you do it more often. But when you get older, you end up choosing the first mind. Well, that first mind, everyone, is God talking to you. And if I can teach you anything from saving you some time, because it didn't help me a lot, and sometimes you got to go through it to get through it. Your first mind is God talking to you. Listen to that. That's your intuition. That's the blessing that God has given you at birth. That is your superhuman, superhero.
Yeah.
Move. If you ever wanted to fly like Wonder Woman or Superman, That's what God gave you. That's your superhuman gift, your intuition. When you hear that and you know it, it's what saves you when you are in a car and you're getting ready to move from the light really fast and you decide to stop and boom, there's a crash and you could have been in it. It's also when you find yourself in a position that you could have been dead, but you're still here. So those are gifts. That's your superhuman gift. So getting back to what I was saying, that feeling didn't register well with me. If you ask me to do something and I feel it's something justifiably right, I don't need you to give me anything for me to tell you what's right. I don't need you to give me something to tell you what's right. I don't have to get compensation for everything. That's why I give formulas. That's why I give knowledge for free. That's why I help people, because it doesn't do anything to me not getting money or me not making revenue. It actually increases it. But you have a society that's set up to think that, why are you telling people free? You went to school, you did this, you did that. Well, that's what you want to do. Okay, fine. You get money for everything you get. But over here, this is what I'm doing. So my point being that if your intentions in having this be your career and being something that is going to bring you greater joy and allow you to go many, many places like it has me, travel everywhere. And you don't need 50, 60, 70,000 followers. Okay? You don't need that. But if it makes you happy and you want to do it, and it allows you the freedom to be able to live a decent life, or even maybe live a wealthy life, or even open a salon, or whatever you want to do, then I suggest that you get out of your feelings with dealing with this social media thing and get started on where you need to be. And be very, very careful about who's chirping in your ear. Do more of this and less of this.
All I can say is I hope everybody, I don't know if notes will take it for that, but it's like, I hope you were taking some notes, and I hope you come back and listen to what she just said, because I don't know if you preached a sermon or what it was, but okay, JMS says we need to send an offering plate now. But I mean, when we talk about nuggets, this is wisdom.
Right, yeah, and I know y'all ready to talk about hair. I'm ready to talk about hair too. We can move on, but I got to give you a little bit of love like that. And they call it, that's when you're older, when people say, "Hey, auntie." That's what Jameez called me. I was like, "Oh Lord, okay, nephew." But it's okay. It's okay. Because when you age gracefully, you're good. When you living a good life, you don't have that to worry about. But hair. Let's talk hair. Yeah, we can talk hair. I think you want to move on. I ain't mean to take over the interview though, because sometimes I can over talk.
This is what this interview is for. It's like this is exactly, I was thinking while I was listening, I was like, I'm so excited that I did this, because it's like, this is what it's for, is to really hear, like, who are these people? You see the work on social media. It's like, we don't need to have you just, show work or what have you, or just talk about hair, but it's like, we want to know who you are. And it's like, we want to learn from you, to kind of sit at your feet, and each of the artists that I have the opportunity to speak with. It's like, I know that they didn't get where they are because they just fell into it. You know what I mean? It's like, you've gone through some things. It's like the journey has taught you some things. And I think that's the wisdom that we need to be gleaning from everybody that's in this industry. I think that's the inspiration. The hair and the art is, I mean, it does our senses, something to our senses to want to be part of it. But it's like, there's something so powerful, that's beyond, this is part of even why I named this Beyond, but that's beyond the art, that we see, that comes
Mm-hmm.
from the passion. And I said it somewhere, I don't even know where I said it or if I said it to you, but
Mm-hmm.
I did watch the Fabric of Change that you were part of, and it's like, and I loved, that each person just had such a unique perspective on hair and their art and their business and all of that. And so I've been trying to take quotes from each person, but just and so for like yours in the beginning, I just sat there mesmerized for the first I think 3 or 4 people. So because I'm always like taking notes and all that kind of stuff, so I didn't start doing that till much later in the day. So for some of you guys that were on early, I had to go back and rewatch, and I'm like, seeing you do your application, and it's like you use the saran wrap and wrap, and it was almost like you just wrapped it in love. It's like
Well, it's so funny, the components that was behind that. We were having some technical difficulties. That week was very challenging, entirely trying to find a model, trying to put it together. While I was there, I was having hot flashes, and I had a makeup artist there for my model and had a stylist to put things together. My girlfriend, being blessed in this industry, you meet so many people. So when you're good to them, they're good to you. So I called on the makeup artist, can you come over? And then I found the model through the cameraman that was going to help me, because I got friends that's really, really big in the industry. They're like, okay, well, you can't just have a camera sitting there. You need to get someone that can film you and looking, so looking at where you can go in and do it. So they're so they're so amazing, but they're just so I call it what is it, pump a circumstance, I think it's called pumping circumstance, something like that, and while I was doing the class, I started having this major sweat down, hot flash. And I knew that I couldn't grab nothing to wipe my face. So, being that I worked on stage for many years and had different situations, and, Nick, worked on stage, we done worked at Barnum Brothers, these kind of places, and you're doing hair and something happens and you realize it and you got to play it off because, the company's looking at you and they want you to sell these products and you got to keep it clean. So, I knew I just kind of dropped my head and talked, but the face is drenched. And finally, when I did look up and everything, no one that really never knew what I was dealing with. I burned some of my Nietzsche wraps up while I was doing it and everything. But, it's all about you staying calm and collected, no matter what the situation. When you're doing hair, when you're doing color, always remember, even if something doesn't come out right, there's always a chemistry behind it, and when you have a color wheel, that you have primary and secondary colors, and that these colors make this color and these colors make that color. And then that if you are, you always remember what you have to use to take out something you don't like or add something that you do like. So if you keep that simple in mind, that, okay, if it's a color that you don't like and you're trying to achieve another color, then you simply got to think to yourself, what is it that neutralizes this color? So if you got red, then on this side, there's something that would neutralize the red. And if you got orange, there's something that will neutralize on this side, the orange. And I'm not telling y'all, but you need to know what neutralizes. Well, I'm gonna tell you what neutralizes red is green, and what neutralizes orange is blue. That's right. So what you want to do is, if you add those up whenever you're having any mistakes that come out, and honey, I'm a colorist and I do color all day, but child, I'm always still stumped by things. I had a client to come in and she didn't even have dark hair. She had I knew she had a reddish brown. This was this weekend. She had a reddish brown on her hair. And, but that hair would not move. I sit there and forward her entire head, weaving. Took me an hour to forward with blondie, 10 volume all over. And that hair was beautiful from halfway through the root out, but where she had that color at did not hardly move. It stayed in an orange stage. And I looked at her and I said, what did you put on your hair? Because it's not color. You had to have done a henna or something like that. And so we eventually got it up some, but these are the things that you're faced with. And here I am, I'm totally exhausted. I'm coloring her hair. Now I've gone from a regular color to color correctioning on her hair, thinking I was going to get out and get some rest. I'd been to a funeral the day before that, and it was just a long week, but I ended up leaving that salon Saturday at like 9 o'clock. So here I am, I'm a colorist, and this is what I do all the time, but I'm still sometimes faced with dilemmas, and I have to figure it out. So here I am with a person that has beautiful banana yellow highlights from the root to the mid shaft. And then from the mid shaft to the ends, it's orangey. And so I'm like, okay. And I did a natural base. So her hair was actually black. So I'm like, what do I do? Like, let me think. Okay, I got to figure out how I need to break this base to soften it up so it would look a little better. I need to be able to tone down this beautiful yellow, which I would make an awesome blonde, but I got to tone it down because I got orange in the back, and then I need to figure out how I can bring this orange up a couple of levels higher. I'd already done a bit of a bleach wash on the ends and fished those out, but it still didn't really bring it up that much. So I thought about it and I said, oh, I know what to do. Wella. I'll use Wella Illumina. Illumina is a line of colors by Wella. It's the premier line of colors by Wella, the most expensive. And they are all violet-based colors. And no matter if you get one that has gold in it, it still has violet in it. And so I use that level 8, 69, which is a violet ash. And it mixed it up with 13 volume and 20 volume. Now don't ask me why I do 13 volume and 20 volume. I'm gonna tell you why. Because if I put the 13 volume, if I put just 20 volume in there, it'd be a little too strong. If I put 13 volume, not quite as strong, even though the 13 volume will live. So I add 13 and then I add half 20. So that'll give me somewhere around like a 17 volume, which will be perfect to break the base at the root where it's black and turn into a soft, it's like a soft, natural ash brown. The 8 level is gonna bring that tone down on the pretty yellow, drop it down to a level 7. 16.5, okay, yeah, 16.5 Miss. And then the ends, what the ends are gonna do, because I applied it to those orange ends first. So when I applied it to the ends first for 5 minutes, that's a 5-minute start because it's gonna lift and tone. So it brought the ends up, toned the root down, and then broke the base. And after I rinsed that, I went back again and I remixed another toner to go in and even more neutralize some of the orange that was still left over.
Okay.
It didn't get all of it out, but it got it out decently enough to make her hair look a lot more of a soft tone. And she can always come back and get the rest of that re-lifted off. But it was really nice. I put it up and I decided to do some twists on the side and kind of leave it really natural. And it came out really good. You guys can go and look at it. I did it on Saturday and I think I got a video put up and some pictures of it. And it's in a natural curl style. So here we go. There you go. I do consultations. I did a consultation with her, and I go through it and she told me that she didn't have anything on there. And,
right.
I failed because I knew she had something on there, but I didn't realize that it was it was, you know, that what do you call it? Uh, the name of it, henna. That henna.
Mm.
That henna is a beast.
Right.
You know, on hair. It's just, it's clay. And it's just terrible. And you know, I do full consultations on the phone before I'll even book them. Mm-hmm. So this happens sometimes. So just a note, always remember, there's a way, if you just sit down and take a moment out when you're faced with something and start to think what you can do, it'll come to you. Okay? So don't frantic, don't panic. Just sit down, breathe, and ask God to direct your steps.
Right.
Because that really helps.
Definitely. Well, one of the things I want to say, like with what you shared with us, is like, get education, and get education, because it's like, you got to know your color wheel, mm-hmm. like off the top of your head, not looking in a book. And you've got to understand, you know, like the levels of the hair. You've got to understand mm-hmm. the products and how the products vary, because it's like, yeah. you know, it's like, okay, if I use that particular line, that everything in it has the violet base. And I think a lot of times we're just so winging it because we barely understand the the color wheel. And then if something, God forbid, goes wrong, which it very easily can with hair color, you mm-hmm. know, quote goes wrong. And another picture popped up for you. Oh, there you are.
I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. I neglected because we were in between trying to get on. I neglected to block my incoming calls. And I can't really stop it now to block them. I'm just praying that someone would not call me, but you know, of course, somebody got to call you.
Right. You're popular. We get it.
I'm so sorry, guys. I you know, it was a little kind of twisty when we first got on, and I meant to do that, but I just slipped up and didn't do it. And I did, yeah. Lord have mercy.
Yes. Well, it's like, I love what you shared with us. We're like a few minutes after 8 already. So the time is definitely flying past, but I wanted to, you shared like a lot with the toning. And
well, you all right. Go. I mean, you okay? Cause listen, it's Instagram Live. They see your light on, they're going to come in your room.
Right.
So go ahead.
Yeah. Well, I wanted to talk, for you to talk about toning, because I think that's one of the things that's so captivating to me about your work, is that the tones are so nice. And with dark hair, it's like, you definitely, you know, tend to pull orange or tend to pull warm, which on a lot of colors or our complexions can be very nice and flattering, you know, when we have a little bit of the warm tones. But now the more cool tones are in. And I know for myself, it's like I have over ashed, you know, where it's like, ooh, this is like drag, where I've got to take it out a little bit and warm it back up a little bit without making it warm. And so I just wonder how you are able to catch these, you know. It just seems like the tone always blends beautifully with the skin color, and it's not too ash, but definitely not too warm. And I heard you use the phrase target toning.
Target toning is not toning with one toner. Mm-hmm. You can't tone with one toner. You have to tone with different toners, because you're going to have some areas in the hair that may not have gotten quite as light as others. Or you're going to have an area that needs to be what you call shadowed. So target toning is when one toner, it's not a one toner fits all. I'm sorry. It's just like everything about hair should be customized. Mm-hmm. I can't use the same formula on each person. Each texture is different. If it's a coarser, coily texture, drier, it's more porous. So it's going to accept color faster, and it's going to process faster, and it's going to damage easier. If it's a looser curl or straighter curl, it can take more. So everything has to be customized according to what you're doing, and watch. And when it comes to toning, I do try to stay within a cool family. I do some warms, but I try to stay cool. And I find that I have to customize the tones. I can never just mix one toner up. I'm usually using a little bit of N. I'm adding ash. I'm adding pearls. I'm adding violet. It just depends on what I'm trying to get. Normally, your good tones is going to come from one thing. It's your lift. Your lift.
Okay. So talk to us about that.
With a lot of African, a lot of Black stylists and a lot of white stylists, the lip is off. If you're not pulling the hair up to a certain level, then you're gonna find yourself doing that old thing of over ashing. Over ashing is when you got so much, you got this brass in there, and you feel if you can ash it, it'll look decent. But you can't take a level 6 or level 7 and put a level 9 toner on trying to bring it to that level. It's not gonna work. It's only gonna mute it and make it very, what should I say? Just yucky, muddy. You know? So the first step to a good tone is trying to develop your level. Meaning that know your level. You got to know what level, you got to know your natural level, and then you have to know your artificial level. And your artificial level is this level. And the natural level may be this, and then this may be your artificial level. So we got, look at these, how we homed in. Even though this is a unit, you know, it's made with these different tones that will show you how balayage kind of works. My hair kind of look good too, girl.
It does.
But what I'm saying is, knowing your levels is going to make the difference, because most people get level 5, 6, 7 mixed up. They think it's one level. So if you don't know how to identify with your levels, get your level card. Most of your booklets, your color books from your companies will have a card inside with swatches. And one side is going to say artificial, one side is going to say natural level. And it's going to show you the pigment, and you can hold it up to the hair after you color it. So you're going to know. A lot of people get a level 6. They think a level 6 and a level 7 is blonde, but it's not. And so they'll go and try to get a level 8 and tone it, and you can't. And it depends on what companies, because all toners aren't alike. If you use Redken Shades EQ are glosses. And glosses are different from demis. So I use glosses. I use Shades EQ also. I use Paul Mitchell, the demi liquids. I use Wella.
Uh-oh, I think you froze on us. Are you there? Joy, we can't see you, can't hear you. I actually wanted to, I'm assuming, sure that she's gonna be back any moment, but I wanted to actually have her kind of, without going into a whole color class, tell us a little bit more about the differences between the glosses, because I have worked with Redken Shades EQ, and I have worked with products that are a demi, and they definitely feel like they like they work differently. So I wanted to share with us if she can. Uh-oh, we lost her altogether. Hopefully she'll be back on momentarily. And let me just see here. We've got a couple questions. Oh, there she is. Okay.
I'm sorry.
Hi there.
I don't know.
Okay.
I've been having some issues with my Wi-Fi lately. And I guess my Wi-Fi may have gone out. I'm so sorry.
Oh, no, we're glad that you're back. I was like, uh-oh, she froze.
Okay.
I was wanting to say, you had shared with us that there is a difference between glosses and demi.
Glosses are clear. They shine more, and the glosses. Hold on a second. Where did I move this from? Okay. Yeah, your glosses, they're clear, and the strength of them is different from the demi.
Mm-hmm.
And so what I tend to do is, it just depends on what I'm trying to do. You know, it depends on what particular color and where I'm trying to go with the color that I may mix glosses. So I mix Shades of Q. I use that line. I also use Paul Mitchell, the demi, which is a gloss, but it's a demi gloss, but it's stronger.
Okay.
And I also use Wella, which is Color Charms.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sorry, not Color Charms, Color Touch.
Okay.
Color Charms, a whole another level.
Yeah.
Don't use that one. But no, Color Touch. And so I have maybe 4 different kind of toner lines that I use.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm usually customizing them. And I took a class on toning and formulation, and I found out a lot of information that I already knew that was really interesting to me. And one of the things that are interesting, and I'll share it with you, is that, like for instance, if you have a client that comes to you and she is a level 9 blonde, and she wants to go down. And you know, if you take a level 9 blonde to bring them back down to a 5, 4, you're gonna have to go in and add that pigment back into the hair. Mm-hmm. In order for it to stay. You can't just take a level 5 color neutral and put on there. So meaning the same colors that it took to get to that blonde, you got to re-add them back in. You got to add them back into the cuticle. So you start off with level 1, 2, which is black, brown, then red orange, and then orange yellow, and then pale yellow going on up. So what you got to get to the blonde with the yellow, you got to go back and you got to add a little bit in that blonde. You're going to add that neutral. You're going to add a little bit of a copper, copper or red, a little bit of copper. Copper is going to give you the orange and the red, so you don't have to separate them. So you're going to add that gold back in that copper back in there, and then the neutral. And that's going to fill that pigment back, and that's going to keep that color. This is what happens when I have clients that are over blonde and they want to add contrast. Mm-hmm. And I'll have to mix this up in a demi form and put it back. And this is what happens when a client comes in and she wants to go darker and stay darker. I have to add that back in. Well, I found out from a class of these girls that I took this class online, amazing artists from Canada, that their philosophy is not always following the rules. Mm-hmm. And it makes sense because if Shades of Q would tell you if the hair is yellow, you should, or any color chart tells you if the hair is banana outside banana peel yellow, you should be using violet. And that works on Caucasian hair. But on African American hair, I found taking violet and putting on yellow doesn't brighten it the way I need it to be. Mm. It just doesn't work. I mean, even though that's the rules, yellow, purple, right? That's what they tell you. Mm-hmm. But I have to add a tiny bit of blue. Mm-hmm. I have to add pearl to it. Mm-hmm. Mostly violet, but I got to add a little bit of a pearl, blue violet to it. Mm-hmm. On ethnic hair. And that's what gives the tone, keeps the tone. Otherwise, when I rinse, it looks to me like it's yellow. It doesn't look blonde, cool blonde. It looks like a coolness, a little bit of a yellowy. Now, if I did this on a Caucasian person or a person that has a level 5 and 6 5 and 6 natural hair, then it'll work with the violet. But it doesn't do that because our pigments are so different. So that's something for you. So getting back to what I was saying, their philosophy is that what you see is what you do. So they still think that even though you are at a level, a yellow, they feel like you need to go back and still add a little bit. You done lifted someone's hair out and balayaged it, and you're getting ready to tone it. And that color is calling for you to do a violet toner. Well, they feel like you should take that violet and you should add a little bit of gold and a little bit of copper and a little bit of neutral into that violet toner. They're saying that that pigment still should be filled back in to give you an overall really natural coolness. That's way against the grains. And this is what they're teaching you, that the way they do it is this is how they get these beautiful colors. This is how they get, beautiful lights, because when you look at, the color, even in the darkest part of this is still cool. I mean, these are extensions, but you still see what you want to see. You want to see a cool brown here. You want to see a nice warmness, and then you want to see some pops of a nice blonde, which is basically the wig was made like that. I had it, put it in like that. I added the piece. What happened was my girlfriend makes wigs, and so she made the wig, but I went back over and added the color because I knew what to do. What I was looking for. So when you look at it, that's what it's giving you.
Right.
And so I got so much hype from wearing this wig last night, child. I was like, let me go and put this wig on again. So that's a little information for you. And I took a class, and they are the yoga colorist. She's a Black girl out of Canada, Toronto. So if you don't follow her, follow her. So,
okay. The yoga colorist, is that what you said?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds amazing. And I definitely have seen through the years that when you have, like one color that comes out of a tube or a bottle or whatever, and you put that on, and that's the color. Thank you.
Right. Hey,
thank
somebody
you.
Put it up here. Yeah, that's it. Thank you. Thank you. Both of them. Aren't they amazing? I took their formula classes.
Yeah, but when you put, the color with the tones that you want out of one tube, that it's, it looks okay. But when you start, combining colors, whether you're mixing 2 colors or even 3 colors to create, you just get this richness that you can't get from just putting one thing in a,
That's right. That's right.
So that what you're sharing kind of completely makes sense, because it's like you get that richness from, combining the colors and really knowing what you're doing when you're combining them. So that
education.
Right.
Even knowing color, it's like, I may even know some things that some people say, but if it takes for me, it just takes something that I need to get. If I see a stylist and they're doing colors like I love it, but I need to see something that I don't know. And I don't have a problem investing in myself, because that's the key to success. If you're sitting around and you're thinking, why aren't you making the moves that you want to make? Maybe you should consider pulling back a little bit and investing in your own self by getting more education with some of the artists that you feel can teach you. Now, not everybody is going to be able to teach you what you need to know. So pay close attention to the artists that you want to teach you. Look really close and see if this person can teach you how to do this, or if this person is teaching you what they can do. You're going to see it. You're going to know it. If you pay attention, then you're going to know who is able to give you informative information. And because it's a lot of artists that are so popular that they become educators through default, because so many so many social media followers love their work so much, and they're like, well, please, can you teach me this? Can you do that? And that's fine, because, you know, I've seen social media stylists become great educators, you know, and they do great work. But, you know, you want to make sure that who you're investing in is going to, you know, give you what you need. So I definitely think that education and all facets of education, you know, it's good. And, you know, whether you're taking a Caucasian or white person's class or this person, if they got something you like, take it. You're always going to have to come home and reformulate it until we have companies that are actually devoting color lines to our hair. You know, until that happens, this is what you're going to have to do, but you're going to be successful at it. Because let me tell you something. A lot of these companies, they don't understand the concept. They want to pigeonhole you. They feel like, okay, we're texture, so we should be curly. But when I do textured hair, you know, I do smooth outs. And let me say this, 85% of the women that come in the salon to get color don't walk out with kinky, curly hair. And there's nothing wrong with that, because I love textured hair. I love it. I get a chance to do it, I do it as fast. But they want to walk out like Beyonce. They want to look like Sierra. They want to look like J-Lo. They want to look like the Kardashians. I mean, that's what it is, honey. They want flow, they want move, they want body, they want tone, they want all of it, you know? And that's what it is. And those girls' hair can be just as blonde, just as toned, just as cool as our white counterparts. But they will walk over it and look at it like they don't want to recognize it. So now that the companies have decided that this is something that they need to take accountability for. And they want to take accountability for, so by all means do it. So when I look up there, people say, but what do you think about them posting all these black people? They wasn't doing it at first. I don't even follow them. I don't like them. I don't want to be a bother with them. And I understand that. I get it. I get it. You know, I know that you've been hurt by it. You know, I've been hurt by it. And but I'm seasoned with hurt. Not immune to it though. Right. Just seasoned with it. And I can channel my hurt into a whole different thing. Sometimes people channel their hurt into anger. Right. A lot of times. But I channel my hurt into triumph. See, when you tell me it's something I can't do and and you act like I'm not on that level, then you're going to have problems. Because I'm going to show you, I'm going to give it to you again and again and again. Right. Each and every time I'm going to give it to you. When you look at it, you may not acknowledge it, honey, but you saw it. And that's it. Because when I do it, I ain't doing it for nothing other than the gratification of my own self and making my clients or the model or whatever I'm using feel good.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You know. So I do want to close this out pretty soon. I don't want to leave without talking about one of the things that I see, but I don't know who's seeing it with me or not. But with the amount of hair color that we're doing, you've been in the industry long enough to see how much color we were doing 20 years ago, how much color we were doing 10 years ago, 5 years ago, and now we're doing a lot of color as Black artists. And like you say, there aren't Black owned companies that are producing the color for us to use. So we are spending our dollars with many of these companies. And do you feel like there's a way to have more responsiveness from the companies because of the dollars that we're spending, which I don't think get separated out in the same way that, you know, it's like if we have a relaxer line, it's like, okay, well, probably 95 or 98% of the people buying this particular product are, you know, Black or African American. With the color company, it's like we're just spending, I mean, I don't know what each salon is really spending.
Lots of money.
Spending a lot of money.
We're spending a lot of money. And you know, here's your time. Here is the time. Right. If you are an artist and you listen, you got people say, I don't want no seat at the table. I'm tired of them. We're gonna figure out our own place. Okay, fine. Do what you need to do. But let me tell you this. Now you can't say that you don't want a seat at the table and you're gonna create your own platforms. There's nothing wrong with that. I commend you, and that's what we added.
Mm-hmm.
But you can't say that that's what you want to do and still let me see you online using Joie code color on your client's hair.
Mm-hmm.
And Weller color, and this one color, and that one color, okay?
Right.
Because then that means that you're contradicting what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
No. Because see, I've been told that, okay, well, you know, why do you want to have a seat at the table? I've worked diligently to be an artist. I deserve everything I get, honey. Nobody gave me nothing.
Mm-hmm.
I work hard for it. Just because you want to have some racing condemnations behind you and don't want to look at my work and see it for what it is, or you've made a choice by some other stupidity or whatever you think. Maybe you think I'm too fat. You know, maybe you think I have my hand long enough. I don't know. Maybe you think my mouth is too big. I have no idea. You know, but at the end of the day, I still can do hair. And here's the thing, honey. I not only can do black hair, but I can do your hair. Now, you go get all those social media sensations with all the following. All of them, the white ones, Caucasian ones, or whatever, and I'm not racist by no means, and that can do all these beautiful blondes that are pulling up from a level 7 and 8.
Right.
And you get a level 2 black girl in a chair. And you give me that, what you're doing. And honey, by the time you finish her, I'll be over there helping you with her. I'll finish that one and then walk over to her and help you with that. So my point here is that, yes, you know, at the end of the day, I work for everything I get. And I definitely want to be able, I want to be able to do the things that I have aspired to do. Mm-hmm. And, you know, if you're telling me that you're ready to acknowledge me and give you a chance, by all means, I'm going to give you a chance, because everybody deserves second and third chances. You know, God gives them to us every day. And so, you know, this is my philosophy and this is how I feel. And I'm not trying to change anyone's feeling, by no means necessary. You have to do what you need to do for yourself. I'm not out here trying to convince you of anything. I had somebody tell me that I didn't need, you don't need to be dealing with these people. You don't need to be doing that. I'm like, well, you know, here's the problem here with the need thing. See, where you got a problem is you don't need to be telling me what I need to be doing, because I'm a grown-ass woman. And last time I looked, I stroked that check for that mortgage. Right. Not you, honey. So I suggest that you pull back a little bit and maybe try to come at me with a different approach and say, well, maybe let me say this. I think maybe you should consider, but don't tell me what I need to do.
Exactly.
That's not going to work. You know, I'm a black woman, a real black woman.
Set them straight. Yep.
Yeah.
Set them straight. But this has been absolutely fabulous.
Somebody just say something.
I was going to transition into your, you know, classes that you're offering. I know
Please do.
I saw someone earlier to ask if you were still teaching or had the online training that you were speaking of during COVID. So is that, you know, tell us what you have available in terms of teaching.
Listen, I'm going to give someone a free access to my class. Now, Mickey's going to ask you a question. Mm-hmm. Don't know what it is. I ain't got nothing to do with it. But all I would need to do is for you to reach out to me. You can DM me. You can text me on Instagram. And thank you, Chavez. You better. My birthday is next month. Oh, no, my birthday this month. Lord Jesus. In a few weeks.
Well, happy birthday.
In a few weeks. The 30th. And
okay.
DM me, and I'm going to get your email address and your name, and I'm going to open the class up to you to take. And this is my way of thanking you for joining us. And I really appreciate you. And I hope that you enjoy the class. And once you finish, you know, reach out to me and we can talk about it like I do every student that takes that class. I reach out to them and I tell them, let's talk about it. And some take me up on it. Some feel like they're confident and they go right on and they reach out to me. So I hope you enjoy it. And Mickey, I'm gonna turn it over to you and let you.
Okay. Well, tell us for like one person's going to win tonight, so I'm super excited about that. But tell us, you know, if there's other people that are on that may want to take the course.
Oh yeah.
How can they access
Listen, if
it?
you're on and you want to take the course, you actually can. There's a code that you can use, and that code is half dash off, HALF, you know, the little middle line off, OFF. So if you go to my page, it'll take you to, or you can go to my website, joiewallace.com, JOIEWALLACE.com. You can go from there, or you can go from my page, and where I'll be putting the link back up, because right now I got the link up from this live, and I'll go back and change that, and you can take the class yourself, and it's actually giving you half price off right now.
Awesome.
So, you know, it's half, it says half off, so that's half, HALF dash off, OFF, and you'll get half off. The class is originally $99. So, and you'll get half off, so it'll be like $49.50, something like that. Okay? If you're interested in
getting better than that, except for winning it. So let's see what we can do
right.
for for our winner for tonight to have it for free. So I think the question is, how long has Joie been doing hair in Hampton Roads area? So let's see here, and put it in the chat if you can here. Let's see. I saw some things pop up. Let me see if I can get to them. Okay, I think.
Well, you might have to ask another one. I mean, you might have to ask two questions, because you got, how are you going to pick between this?
Well,
you might get two people to answer it.
The first one, it's like we've got.
Oh, the first person that says it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, it looks like we have a winner. You guys were pretty quick on this. And we have a lot of different numbers too, so it's like.
Oh, do we? Okay.
So why don't you do the honor of telling us the answer to that question? How long have you been doing hair in Hampton Roads?
In Hampton Roads, 23 years.
Yep, that's what I recall. And so it looks like Shantae is our winner tonight.
Oh, congratulations, Shantae.
So Shantae,
a lot of them got the 33. It was good, because I said, you know, I've been doing it 33 years, so a lot of them said 33.
Yeah, we had a lot of 33s. We had a 20, 23s, 33, 20, 24. Everybody was in the room. So congratulations to Shantae. And definitely reach out to.
Yes, Shantae, please reach out to me, DM me, and I'm gonna get your information. I'm gonna open that class up to you. So happy for you. And join us later. Y'all go over and join us on my live. I'm getting ready to go live, and we're gonna get crunked up a little bit on there too. We're gonna get Mickey up there, so we can kind of chat a little bit, and you know, and tag a friend and DM them and let them know we're gonna be live up there. Okay?
Yeah. And I had a couple more things that we didn't even get to. It's like we covered so much. So I want to say thank you.
Maybe we can cover it on there.
Exactly. It's like this. Yeah. This has been amazing. It's like I really, really appreciate you. I appreciate you as an artist, as an art. You know, your art that you put out for us. And I appreciate you as a person. And so I want to say thank you so much for taking time out of your schedule.
I appreciate you too. Thank you so much for inviting me.
Yes. Well, thank you everybody who came tonight. And I guess, let me see. I see a lot of different kudos here. Let's see, Krista from House of Bombshell says she's really enjoying the knowledge and wisdom from Miss Wallace.
Thank you.
So awesome, and have a great platform. Thank you. So thank you so much for that, Krista. And I think there's someone here, Beauty on the Move. This is great. What a story. I would love to show this to my students at the beginning of the semester. So,
is this going to live? Is it going to live? Is it going to play back? Or?
This will be available. It's like fortunately, we have been recording. I'm always looking. It's like, is it still recording? Is it still recording?
Yeah, it's recording. I see record up here.
It is recording. And so we should have the recording available within the next 48 hours. It'll probably be a little
great.
tomorrow, but I'll give myself a little grace, a little room.
I know that's right.
And then right now they're being put onto YouTube. I don't know where they're going to live ultimately, but I'm loving doing Beauty Superstars Talk and really getting to hear everybody's stories. And we've got more coming. So for you guys that joined us tonight, I definitely appreciate you taking time out of your schedule. And I know you got some good stuff out of tonight. But next week we'll have Kia Artistically Neil, who's going to be doing hair.
I'll be here for that. I love Kia.
Yes. So texture versus race and hair color all together. And then the week after, we continue hair color month. Is that right? Yeah. Patrick Bradley, I think, is going to be my guest at the end.
Wow.
And we'll be
That's
talking
amazing.
about branding and as well as coloring relaxed hair, which we don't talk about much these days. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. And then August, we've got that all lined up with some amazing people who are, I would say, outside the box. They're not your normal stand behind the chair hairstylist. So we have actually film and television is first with Ralph Ochoa the first week. So mark your Tuesdays. Just stay with us on Tuesday.
Yes, and you guys support Mickey. You have to go out and you have to tell other people about this. And
thank you.
we have to live with each other and support one another, okay? Yeah. So please, make sure that you tag it and tell people about it.
Well, thank you. And this is going to go into the Beauty Superstars Facebook group as well. I was supposed to stream it in there, but with all the challenges we had getting started, I just went ahead and started. So I was like, I will put a copy of it in there.
Hi, Facebook. Hi, Beauty Superstar group.
Yeah, well, I'm in it too. Say it for later because it's like it's not streaming right now.
Okay. Oh, okay.
But I will put it in there.
Okay.
But yeah, we've got film and television, doing hair for that. So if you ever had any interest to do that, Ralph Ochoa is going to speak with us. And then we've got Mazay Jefferson, who has taken a corporate path with his career and is an executive with L'Oreal. And he's been with the multicultural sections and now with just the general sections. And so I think that path will be super exciting. I've known him for a long time and really look forward to his story. And after that, it's like the list is growing. So it's like I'm super excited. Now I can't think of who's going to be after that. Michelle O'Connor. Editorial
that's
stylist.
My darling baby. When is she coming?
That is going to be April I think it's something like the 18th, the third week, I think.
You said April?
Yes, I did. August.
Okay.
I'm losing my mind.
I will. Michelle is amazing.
She is. And
wow, you do have the superstars, baby.
Yeah, baby. It's like we got so many. So, and then I've got some more coming, so we'll leave it there for right now. But so mark your Tuesdays. Just come and join us.
All right, I'll be right there.
Yes. So we will call this a night. I definitely look forward to seeing you guys next week. Again, thank you so much. And then we're gonna just switch over. I'm gonna make sure this thing is downloading.
Come on over.
And I'll be on Instagram, and you'll be able to bring me up on it.
As soon as you join.
Awesome. Okay,
Vicky. All right.
You guys,
bye, everyone. Love you. See you in a few.
For the stars. Yep, and we'll see you in a few on Instagram. So take great care, everyone. Thanks so much.